Friday. Is that your understanding?
No, I've not heard any of that.
Okay. Well, are you out of it, or are you in?
I was received an email from Andy saying, oh yes, I got an email from Micah already, and that was the last email I got.
All right, here's our LANA demonstration. It's 9:12.
Okay.
All right.
So show us what's going to happen, or tell us what's going to happen, and then.
So let me just bring up the bullet points that I just went over. So right now, we just kind of have this structure from one of the summer classes. It was kind of rushed here, and we kind of just figured it's kind of nice.
That's a great idea.
This is going to be simulating our, just like what would be in a regular room. This is our HVAC that's kind of outside. So first, just going over the sensor data, we kind of wanted to show you from our phone and from the laptop.
Well, what do we got here?
So
We got ourselves a launch pad with a Boost XL with minus the 007.
So we have the CC3200 launch pad with the booster sensor back and a LED driver, the PCA9685, with 3 servos hooked up to it. Currently we have a power supply giving us power for our servos, and that's about
Where is that at?
These, oops, excuse me.
No,
Two line.
so.
Oh,
It'll be
over
this way
there.
if you
Okay.
like.
So what are these servos representing?
So this servo is going to represent our door lock. It's just kind of in this position because it was easier to place there. This is going to be our slider. We're going to see that we can adjust this, and if you see, this one is kind of painted.
So what's the slider doing for us?
The slider is going to be simulating our window blind when
Okay.
we want to adjust the.
But you can adjust it partially.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then this one over here.
And then our small one is our motion flag. This one's going to simulate motion in the room.
To trigger
But
our
this-
motion
Oh,
sensors later on.
I was not thinking that was a flag.
Okay.
Oh no, this
I get it
just
now.
on the
Okay.
flag.
And you're going to be able to detect that where?
We're not detecting that yet. We just need to add the motion detector and.
Okay. But you have a motion source.
When you get your motion detector, you may find it challenging to detect an object that's going to be at ambient temperature,
Right.
because you know the way those work is that they look at, they basically have 2 windows and they're looking for an IR signature to move from point A to point B to detect motion.
Right.
That is going to look invisible,
Right.
potentially.
Potentially. Exactly.
Potentially, you need to check it out. You might have to do some finagling to make something like that work.
Okay. We
Add
did
some heat, do something.
We did a little bit of testing with something as small as a pair of chopsticks,
Okay.
waving maybe 2 feet in front of it, and it was able to pick it up okay.
And
But
why
it might
did
have
we
had a-
choose chopsticks?
Because we're students and that's what we had available that was that we could
ramen
tape to
noodles
something
or-
and move it back and forth. So
That's a gourmet night.
It's a gourmet.
It is. So that's a $7 meal.
You
at,
guys are just
Panda Express.
making me feel so bad.
Guys
I'm
are
about ready to
uptown.
break down and cry here. Okay, so now show me
show us.
All right. Let's have a look.
your.
So actually, I wanted to show you through the phone because it's kind of where you would. But there's also the dashboard.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Okay, cool. And the hotspot is on.
So we want to put this here.
And apparently they've added some features to the dashboard. Is this supposed to be plugged in?
Oh, no.
or- Okay.
So, as you can see here, here's the lux value that we're reading
On that guy in there. right?
inside. Correct. Here we have our room temperature. It's at 78. It's kind of.
It works.
I feel like it's hotter in here. We have our pressure, which is reading. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, in hectopascals down here, and then this is our relative humidity. And then this is where our moisture sensor would go, and our motion sensor would go. Okay. Over here we have the button trigger that's going to simulate the door. Then we have the simulate button, which is going to raise the flag, and then we have the slider down here, which is going to be able to adjust your window blind. Here we're going to have where you want to. Actually, I think this one's a mistake, so don't do this one. And then finally, there's some other settings that are going to be used when we talk to from each device. Are there any questions?
And you're updating about every 3 seconds?
So on
4
this,
seconds?
I have it updating every 10 seconds.
10
just,
seconds,
Just
okay.
because just wanted to keep it running without it dropping us in case, because the rule is no more than 10 values per 1 second, and I just didn't want to.
The rule.
The rule for Cayenne.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So you can't
That
send-
might explain some of the stuff that we saw last time.
Yeah. No, it may explain some of the problems we've been having.
Okay. That's
We're gonna have to get that other team. We're gonna have to upgrade their grade.
Yeah. So Cayenne says that it won't process more than 10 values?
It won't. It probably. I haven't tested the waters, but from just on the website, it'll let you know kind of the limits.
So do they have a pay version of Cayenne where you can do more?
Honestly, I have not.
I
looked.
can't find it.
I don't think
I mean,
they
they
do.
keep talking
They-
about customers they have,
They
but
don't. Yeah. Not,
I just can't believe they don't have a superior product that you buy.
Right. Yeah. How are they
That
making
seems
money?
like the incentive is there to do that.
Right.
If you can send an email or something like that, would you ask them, tell them we're working on a project
Okay.
and we want to know if there is a paid version? Where would we go to find out information about?
What do we get for the money?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and just start with.
Well, what are we going to do?
Let's
Tell
do
me
the-
what we're going to do.
Let's do the flag first, because that's always fun to go.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and press this. Second.
Let's see. Come up above you.
Well, see, it's all this other stuff you're doing that
Yeah.
bothers me.
Oh,
Because
What-
you
what
just said
are
you
we
were going to
doing?
push this button
Oh.
and the flag was going to go up.
sorry. I feel like just having a small difficulty.
So you need to explain what you're doing.
I'm sorry. So right now I'm pressing the button and it's not raising the flag.
Yeah,
Let me see if my.
but we're still updating, right?
Right. I want to see the. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to check the serial port
Yeah.
to see if we are getting the info correctly. If not, I might need to.
Yeah, there's something.
Okay. Data's popping out.
So here, if I press the button. So it seems like it's not looking at the Cayenne info. Oh, you know what? Let me double check to make sure my. Yes.
Well, it's got to be up or you wouldn't be.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be getting anything.
I was like, I don't care. I'm either getting a B or a C.
Let me go ahead and try another. I'm gonna try another virtual button, which is going to simulate the flag again. Interesting. So let's see if our time change is on, just to see. Yep. So we are connected.
Yeah.
Got a power light on your servo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So your demo says you can read all the sensors.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I think
Was
one
it?
of our
What happened?
powers was not connected correctly. All I did was I moved this,
A little
and
bit.
it seemed to like need to latch onto the wire.
So try it again.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm gonna try it again.
Let's see.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that one more time just to make sure we can do that multiple
Okay.
times. So that would be an on or off position. I'll do that one more time just for fun.
They just need one horizontal.
Oh, I think I needed it to wait because I pressed it while it was loading. Okay.
Okay, so we're seeing right now the kind of things that cause demos to go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, that was a little bit.
You
nervous,
chose to
right?
use alligator clips.
Right.
Why?
It's been working flawlessly.
Yeah, but
And-
it's that kind of haphazard connection
Okay.
that will cause you problems and turn a very successful demonstration into a POS. Okay? Don't do those things to yourself. Make hard connections.
Okay.
Over here, you're plugged in. Here, you're clipped on. Okay? Not good. Not good.
Noted.
So,
So let me go ahead
you're
And by the
taking
way-
this to heart, and everybody is going to stop doing this kind of thing. Is that
So,
right?
I don't know if we have any in our stock, but you can get those for pennies that you can just plug a bare wire into, those banana jacks. And you could have just taken a longer pair of wires, put them with color-coded banana jacks, and now you've got a reliable connection.
Well, they've got a connection. It's screw connection right there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a screw
it's
connection.
Oh, well,
There's
so-
no
you just
reason
need bare wire.
to do that.
Just, yeah.
Okay? Unless you want
Yes, sir.
to turn your perfect demo that just worked last hour
Like literally the
Yeah.
last
into a
5 minutes.
POS that doesn't impress anybody.
Okay.
Okay? So, I mean, if you need reasons to cry, right there it is.
That would have been it.
That would have been it.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
And your teammates will guarantee you that they will not hold you accountable.
Definitely. Like
That I'm
responsible.
just,
Yeah.
you can be guaranteed of that.
Okay.
They're that kind of person. I haven't found that kind of person yet,
Right.
but I'm sure they are.
Okay.
Okay? Don't do it.
So let's go ahead and simulate the flag.
By the way, how are you so lucky that each one of your servos plugs into this board nicely? I guess the board is made.
It's made for
For that?
servos.
Oh,
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't lucky.
No.
No, it's
You were intelligent. Okay, what else we got?
So we got the flag. It kind of pops out you. I kind of got scared the first time.
Wait a minute. Are you,
Oh, sorry, I pressed it.
that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a hoot.
It's a heart checker.
It really jumps at you.
It's not even fast enough to salute.
Yeah.
Don't have enough time.
Gonna do that one more time for demonstration again. And
Now-
there it is.
You're sending in that command two different values.
Right.
So this guy is outputting one of them and then immediately outputting the other one
So
again?
this one's
Or
just
is that what you're doing?
no. So this one's a 1-0 condition. So
Yeah.
every time I press it, it'll know. And this is a 0, and then it'll 1. So it'll just do an if statement, and it's just
Understand.
gonna do one side.
But this guy,
Oh, that one does do both.
when you
in
push
one
that button,
Right.
you're literally sending it a go to and a go
go
back.
back, just to be able to do the full range.
Okay, so you could put a small time delay in that code.
So it
Right.
stays up.
Oh
and then
yeah,
drops
yeah,
down.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Okay. Let's.
But I hadn't thought about that either. Usually we send the command that says go up, and then you gotta wait for the command to go down. But if you knew the time you wanted that to happen,
Right.
then you could send them both in the same command. And
Yep.
this is positional. I could go all the way up and halfway down, right?
Oh, this one, the
Yeah.
smaller one, I haven't looked at. I wasn't playing with the positioning of that one particularly, but for these, for definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It
now,
has the ability to do that. So,
so
if
now I
we
wanted
need
to
to.
show you this one. I'm gonna take it out because we kind of need to see it better. That would be this that we're gonna look at. I'm gonna set it.
And jiggling that board and those power wires isn't gonna cause a problem, right?
Yeah, the light's
Oh.
still on.
Did
That's
it,
good.
did it flicker out?
No, it didn't flicker.
So I'm gonna raise it to 98. Okay, so now we're set. So right now it's this being the position of 0 and this being the position of 180. So if I want it here, I'm gonna bring it to 50. And since it's not centered, it's kind of gonna be like off to this end in between those two.
So you're using 0 to 100%.
I figured it was easier just to like
Okay,
visualize.
but you know how to map
Right.
one set to another set, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So let's hit almost 50. So
Oh, okay.
you can
Okay,
kind of
so
see
about
where
50.
it went to the position and then back down to 0.
It's the weighting.
Yeah.
To that.
Okay, and how much will this board drive?
How many servos?
No, what current, what load can it handle on each one of the ports?
So it's 20 milliamps shared among 16 ports. So 1 point something, however the math ends up, which is why we're using these.
But
that-
you're
So the max
powering
any
it.
port can work is 20 milliamps.
Maybe I'm not making myself clear.
Okay.
You have a control signal that you're sending, but you're also sending power and ground, right?
Yes.
So how much power can I control off of this board?
Are we talking about
Could I put a
PC?
5 amp servo over there and still control it?
Not with the onboard power regulation on this board.
But is it power regulation? How much are you giving it?
So we're giving it, let's see. So we're supposed to be
giving it
giving
anything.
it like 5 volts if it's connected properly. Unless any of
That
these are.
fixed it.
There we go. So this guy was touching down here and it was in a stall condition. So we saw the voltage drop and we should have seen the current
But you're
jump.
giving it 20 volts now.
I'm sorry, it's on the 5 volt setting, so we're
It's
looking
on
at
a
Oh,
low
okay.
scale.
So actually, we can see.
But my point is
current.
now you're providing 5 volts to this guy and you're telling it where you want it to go with a standard TTL logic signal. How much will that board allow you to control as far as power? Could this be a 5 volt 3 amp servo?
We could take a look at that. We haven't had any trouble with even these big servos that we have.
Do you mean operating at 3 amps?
To move it,
Yeah.
this thing takes a certain amount of power, right? Well, how much will that board deliver through that one power connector?
I don't know, but we could check.
Yeah.
We could definitely look it up. This is just a development breakout board.
Yeah, understand. But I've got some
The
ideas.
question is, not on that board, well, I don't know what you have in mind. On their
Yeah.
final board, obviously, they're doing this all on a printed circuit board, we can provide however much power we want.
Right.
But you're thinking about doing some other things. Okay.
Okay.
So lastly, let me go ahead and go to the HVAC, which is this
Okay,
sensor
and-
pack outside.
Let me also state that you bought that board, right?
Correct.
Okay, when you show me your final bill of materials, I want the final product bill of materials, and then I want to know all the other things that you've purchased.
Okay.
So I may want that board even though it's not part of your project.
Okay.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we understand what the bill of materials are going to look like.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is just our on time. Here we only have the temperature. We can easily add the other sensors, but for the sake of it being the HVAC, I just had the temperature one. This is kind of a live feed, the graph view. It's just a lot cooler, I feel.
Getting a lot of change in temperature.
It's varying smallly.
Can that be expanded?
I'm not sure actually.
Neither am I. Doesn't look like it. You can, the x-axis can be changed, but I
Right.
don't know if the y-axis
Well,
can.
I know that if I go ahead and
Like make it warm with your finger.
yeah, I think I might have paused it up
Okay.
by pressing on it. Oh, there it is. I kind of don't want to push it. Let's see if it's so it's still connected. I think I'm touching the wrong one. There we go. So again, it's every.
Is this the one, yeah, I can pick a point?
Oh,
Isn't it supposed to tell me what that is?
can you press it? Oh, cool.
Okay.
You didn't know that, huh?
I didn't know that.
Ah.
It's kind of neat. So it's 78 to 76. I wonder if I can mess with the y-axis to change the range.
Yeah, that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a home weather station, and in that, when I double click on it, it'll expand it. Yeah, but I don't know whether Cayenne.
Okay, for like
The only thing I
scale.
wanted to show you here was the temperature up and temperature down. So if I go ahead and press this, we're gonna send the we're gonna toggle into a function that's gonna update our temperature, and it's gonna
Where
send
does it tell me that?
It's gonna send it back here. So I was playing with it earlier, so it was set at 77. Now, when I press the up, it's set to 78.
So this published what its new set point was.
Correct.
Okay, so if you hit it again, it should go to 79, right?
So if I hit it one more time, we're at 79. Hit it
Now, let
one
me see it go
time.
down.
Now, that seems, maybe we just got it at the right time. That seemed awfully fast.
That was awfully fast.
Yeah,
I just
that
noticed
was.
that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
But this second one wasn't that fast.
Right. So it's like we caught
So
it just
maybe
near
we
the
just
edge.
caught it.
Yeah.
at
So
the
make it go
very
down.
edge.
Yeah.
There you go. Right there. No. It zoomed out. It only zoomed out on here, but it's still cut off.
Yeah.
There it goes. Okay.
Much longer. Excellent.
Now that's going to, everybody can subscribe to, and you're going to have one of those for every room, right?
So the way I'm getting
Or is
around.
that down here?
So the way I'm getting around letting everyone know is with Cayenne you can't necessarily give like an analog value to the other one. So what I do is I have this trigger, which is gonna trigger another button on this dashboard. Now the thing with that is I don't want it to be, because the problem is I feel that someone could press it and one of them would be updated without the other ones knowing. But I'm thinking it'd be a lot nicer if you can update it from any of the rooms. So say if you're in the bathroom and it's too hot, you can go to your dashboard and press the button. And so all of them would be incremented. Now, that's kind of like what I was.
I'm not sure that's what you want.
That's what I was wanting to understand too. Is
The part of my house that is for guests and whatnot,
right.
that's always at 78, 79 degrees, because we never go into that part,
Right.
while the living room is at 74 degrees.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I want to be able to set each room
Independent
independent of one another. The only thing we said is I don't want heat and cooling. I don't want to heat one room and cool another. I'm either cooling this room down to this value, or I'm cooling this room down to there.
I
And
think
you're
the
gonna do
way I'm
that
gonna
with your
adjust
servo.
it. I think the way I'm gonna adjust the temperature for each room is probably just with the blocking the airflow.
Yeah, that's fine, but you're going to have to turn on the air conditioner too,
Right.
or you're going to have to turn on the heat when one of the rooms asks for a change.
So specifically when one of the rooms asks for a change, or only
Yeah.
when the HVAC has been.
Well, if I'm in a room and I ask for change,
Right.
that should go to my air conditioning unit and, well, my heating cooling unit, and tell it, do I want heat or do I want cooling? And that's going to be based on the ambient temperature versus the set temperature.
Right.
So I'm only going to either have cooling on or I'm having heating on. But each room opens and closes their
Correct. Their valves.
flappers to allow air to go into the room to change its temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And that was the last item on this guy?
That is the last item that I have.
I'm glad you guys are using this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And now,
Yeah, so for on the wall, this is what the standard structure's gonna look like. We have our, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not bad.
let's go.
Yeah.
So the control studs, we have a toast wall. And Yeah, so like I said before, I think there's some shearing action happening with the glue because last semester when we tested it multiple times it worked. So we'll need a different glue, but it'll toast insulation.
Yeah.
So you have removable insulation on one of your walls, and then maybe door and window.
So how are you going to do that once the house is fully constructed?
So the roof is removable, so we'll have
So I take off the roof,
Mm-hmm.
I pull out the insulation.
one panel of the roof, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you just take out little pieces.
And what kind of glue did you use?
This was a spray-on adhesive.
It was like Super 77, I
Yeah,
think.
it wasn't. It was, it worked for solid several weeks. I think there might have been some degrading happening or something.
I would have
Yeah.
figured
You got
Gorilla
no-
Glue or
Yeah.
something like that would be
a little better.
a little better. Did this spray-on stuff say it adhered to wood?
Yes, it's good for a lot of materials, including wood and foam. We wanted
So
to
Gorilla
pick a
would work. I'll tell you another one that would probably work very well in this application. They make cyanoacrylates for wood applications. And those would probably work pretty good. They have real good tensile strength. They're not so good in the shear.
Okay.
They got really good tensile strength, and
Was it a?
your alignment is gonna, that's gonna be where you're gonna.
Well, I assume we put them down in there and then glue the piece of wood to it, right?
That's what we did.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah,
did.
but that's,
I think something's also going to help is we just used a box cutter to cut these, and so this edge is not as flush as it could be.
Yeah.
So there's a foam cutter in the EDC.
Oh, there is?
So we should have a little bit better
I
repeatability.
signed up for a class. So,
And
yes.
it's like a table saw? It's got
I'm not sure yet.
what the hell is that called?
The jigsaw,
It is a
jigsaw.
What are you pushing up
hot wire.
against?
oh, a guy,
Oh.
A guide.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another better name for it, but yeah, if you can cut that.
or rip fence.
Rip
A rip
fence,
fence,
thank you.
there you go,
Thank
yeah.
Yeah, because it was not foam to.
Yeah.
It's a box cutter. So we'll probably use this flesh board on the inside wall. And do whatever.
And then what's on the outside?
So right now, this is what, it's our alpha. This is just gonna be way too expensive to do this. But there's a roll-on version of this.
A roll-on.
Yeah,
There's a
so
roll-on where it's a
that-
paintbrush. This was like a spray can.
this outside material is MDF whiteboard. So the white
Okay,
side
wait.
is
Okay, so
pointed
you
in.
painted
This is on-
MDF.
Correct.
Okay.
So far, that just as a demo to see if we could, and it wouldn't dry weird, and it would adhere okay.
So that was a spray-on?
This is a spray-on.
So that does get expensive.
It was one can for all of this, and the cans are pretty expensive. So
And we're gonna have a lot more.
we're thinking about moving to a roll-on.
Well, they make and this is just talking, a brick-like product that you can put on a wall.
Right.
So it looks like artificial brick.
We looked into that.
I think it was
And
really expensive.
it is?
It's
Yeah.
expensive, and it's very thick as well. So
Yeah. Darn.
yeah,
And I imagine that if it's thick, it's heavier than we want.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one box is 25 pounds.
So what effect are you trying to achieve, Dr. Morgan, on the outside?
Something
Yeah.
that looks
Looks
reasonable, you know,
Yeah.
if we can, without spending a whole lot of money. But money isn't the primary factor in the construction of this house.
right.
In the construction of that house, it was every penny counted.
Right.
Right.
Well,
So the solution that we're moving towards with the next model is something that's roll-on, a little bit thicker, so that you don't see any of those staples that we're using to hold it together. And then it should have kind of the appearance of like a stucco.
oh, you know what you could do that would give it a stucco appearance? It's pretty easy to do with a roller,
Okay.
is use, do like wall texturing, where you take you just
Like a
plaster on with the, now you'll need to put a sealer paint on it that'd be, like a brush on for it to grab onto, because it won't grab very good onto the little board that you've got.
right.
But they do it just like you're texturing a wall of a house.
Okay.
Well, that's wall texture or ceiling.
Ceiling texture, the way they get that
The popcorn.
the popcorny look,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is that's sprayed on.
Yeah, well,
But you can roll on the wall textures, you know, like those.
Okay.
Those are all roll on. It's the nap of the roller sets.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you could use
That sounds
just a regular
promising.
exterior paint on it, or even an interior paint on it.
so
Right.
what color are we gonna paint it?
The outside?
Yeah.
What color do you want?
Maroon and
I'm
cream.
thinking brown.
Maroon with a little bit of purple.
I think white with
Or an off-white.
maybe maroon
Yeah,
shutters and
that'd be nice, actually.
Yeah.
Shutters sound like scope creep.
it doesn't have shutters?
Which
I'm kidding.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I show you.
But wood-wise, you think constructing it, it will be?
Yeah.
I mean, this held together really well.
Once we put on the inside and outside
I
wall,
would glue
it
and nail if I were you.
Yeah.
okay.
All our other.
Just get some good wood glue to do that with, and it'll be fine.
But now, if you're gonna nail, you're gonna wanna, this wood is thin enough. If you're gonna nail, you're gonna wanna pre-drill all those holes. So you'll need a drill motor and a small bit.
Are you using a nail and hammer?
No, we used a brand nailer.
Yeah.
And,
And it still
worked,
split it?
It worked, no, it worked great for this. That's what all this is.
Okay.
It's when we need longer than an inch. So clearance, because our wood is only half an inch.
Yeah.
And so we're going through half an inch to the next piece. But when we're looking at the roof, we're gonna need more than that to make it through. And all the nails longer don't fit our brand nailer. And so.
So it's just the
They're
nailer
thicker.
that is the problem?
I wouldn't say I guess. They make longer
I
brands.
thought mine went to 1.25 inches.
Yeah.
I thought ours did too, but we're maxed out at an inch.
Well,
Yeah.
text me after 7 and ask me to check my nailers and see what I've got.
Okay.
Okay? But maybe
Yeah.
even longer than that.
We're just using the one that I had at my house, like for brad nailing for
Okay.
just a little electric brad nailer. So
Cool.
just to test our concept. But that's all we have for today.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And I actually plugged in one of my cameras.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.